Alright, today I'm going to be reacting to Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Now, this is obviously a classic. This is a very popular album. I'm assuming there's going to be some songs on here that I know, and it looks like maybe I'll even know the first track, Wouldn't It Be Nice? I think I hear that in my head right now. Wouldn't it be nice? I don't know too much going into this. This is the first time for me listening to a full Beach Boys album. We're gonna hop into it. Go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. Link in the description down below to where you can join that. The first track, like I said, Wouldn't It Be Nice? Never heard this part. Okay. Ooh. See, I think I've only heard that chorus. I haven't heard this bridge or anything. Okay. Great harmonies. That's interesting how short that track is, too. Only 2:30. Feels like one of those songs, the fact that it is from the 60s, huge kind of pop rock song, feels like it would be a little bit longer, but I'm kind of happy with that length. Obviously very catchy, instantly recognizable and memorable chorus. Cool to hear that bridge because I've never heard that. I think, like I said, I've only really remembered the chorus. Very nice mix to it. The drums felt very like bombastic in a way, but they still had a bright and kind of sunny feeling to them, you know? So yeah, interesting mix, interesting sound. I was looking for the remastered version because this does kind of just sound like the original version. I guess it's fine. Usually when I do these really classic old albums, I do usually do the remastered version just because it sounds a little bit better in headphones, but it's going to be interesting to just hear how this sounded in the 60s, so let's keep going. I'm intrigued to see if everything's going to be as like poppy as that.
I've been very aware, you've been patient with me. Time we break up, you bring back your life to me. How can it be?
Theatrical organ in there. Wow.
I try hard to be more what you, but sometimes I feel my sin. And after all I promise.
That little bow, bow. Sounds like someone's like honking a clown nose or something. Interesting change of pace, a lot darker, moodier, slower tempo. I am excited that we're not just gonna get a bunch of Wouldn't It Be Nices, you know? It looks like we'll get some range to this album. So one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is how I feel like influential, especially these vocals, have been. Kind of this boyish vocal timbre that I feel like a lot of artists in like the indie kind of lane nowadays sound. You know, I feel like you hear this sound a lot. Short, again, 2.5 minutes, but it didn't feel unfinished.
I had to prove that I could make it alone now, but that's not. I could try to be big in the eyes of the world. What matters to me, girl?
Like, oh, I hear so much of, the vocal sounds so familiar to like, is it Vampire Weekend?
I sit down beneath my feet.
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of, Vampire Weekend. Oh, that's a nice chord.
I'm a little bit scared 'cause I have.
Wow.
You needed my love and I know. My folks when I wrote told them what I was up to. I miss my pet and the places I know. And
Again, that chord is so nice. Oh.
I'm glad I win, now I'm that much more sure that we're ready. I soon found out that my lonely life wasn't so deep, so I
Very cool mixing here. All the drums pretty much on left for you guys. Wow. Love the mixing on that track. I think that, I mean, it's hard to beat, wouldn't it be nice? But that is probably my favorite, maybe? Love the melodies in there. Great vocal performance from Mike Love. Is that, hold on, I gotta go back and see. Has he been the vocals on the other tracks too? It's been Brian Wilson and Mike Love, it seems, and the other members when they do a nice little group chorus. Yeah, that was a good track. Liked it quite a bit. We're gonna keep it going. It's crazy how much darker the rest of this album has been compared to Wouldn't It Be Nice. Those vocals. When he flips into that higher register, it's so nice. Most of these vocals have been doubled too. Creates an interesting sound.
Let's not think about tomorrow. Come close, close your eyes and be.
That little walking bass line there.
Don't talk, put your head on my shoulders and be still. Don't talk.
Wow. Very serene, comforting, almost put me to sleep in a good way. Not because it was boring, just because it was very, very calming. And yeah, Brian Wilson was kind of risen me up here. I'm loving the mix. That's something I'm really, really surprisingly loving right now. There's a subtle kind of harshness to certain parts of it. Overall, there's a very lush feel to everything here. It's always a little bit scary doing these classic albums because I know that there's going to be people watching this video that are very passionate about this album, and sometimes with these classic albums they just don't click for me. There's some sort of disconnect, whether it be the time or I don't know, mainly probably just the time. Yeah, this one's really clicking for me so far. Kind of reminds me of The Doors quite a bit. When did The Doors self-titled come out? After this? 67. Came out a year after this, okay. Like this organ here, very reminiscent of The Doors. I love that they can show restraint too though. Like it's not all bombastic like this right here. There's some subtlety to it. Great intricacies on this track. The guitars, the organs, that woodwind there. That walking bass line again, just chugging along. Boom, 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 boom.
He hurt you then, but that's all done.
Oh, those strings sound so good. Holy. Huge toms.
You didn't think that I could see like watching take you. You didn't think that I could let you go. You didn't think.
Another great one. This album is really, really clicking for me. I feel like some more pretentious music fans would call this basic, because it's nothing like super adventurous in my opinion. It's just some solid songwriting, some solid tunes. It's sunny. It's joyous, but it also gets a bit darker at times. I guess it is kind of straightforward, but that doesn't mean that it's not detailed and not layered, you know? We're gonna keep it going. And I'm just loving how short and to the point these tracks are. Instrumental, okay. Oh, come on. Oh. Very farty, buzzy sound there. Oh, That bass. Love the delay on that little rim hit. Let's keep it going. Great little transitional instrumental moment there.
We come on this Sloop John B. Got into a fight.
Oh, come on.
So hoist up the John B sail. See, let me go.
Their voices work together so well. I love it.
I wanna go home. The first mate, he got drunk. Broke in the captain. See how the main sails. See how the main sails. Call for the captain and shore land. Feel so broke up. I wanna go home. Let me go home. Let me go home. Why don't they let me go home? Never been long. Hoist up the John B. Hoist up the John B. See how shore. Let me go home. Let me go home.
That's not one of my favorites, if I'm being honest. I think the groove was just a little bit stiff. I wish there was a little bit more oomph and life to that groove. I feel like it did kind of pick up towards the end there, but I just didn't love the drum pattern there. Yeah, I mean, it had some cool sounds. Like I said, the Brian Wilson and Mike Love's vocals just work together so well. One's a little bit lower, one's a little bit more nasally, so there is enough of a difference that it doesn't feel like just the same voice on top of each other. So I love that. Again, just a little bit of a stale groove on that one, but not terrible, just one of the weaker ones on here, in my opinion. God Only Knows, 240 million streams on this one. I've been loving the bass lines.
I may not always love you,
Wow.
but you never need to doubt it. I'll
You hear that
make
ta-ta?
so-
Great textures on this one.
It's a what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you.
Oh, this is a different vocalist too. I didn't even notice. Wow.
God only knows what I'd be without you. Into me.
Ooh.
So what good would living do me? God only knows what
Wow.
I'd be without. God only knows what God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be
I'm in love with just the sound of this album. The mixing. They're balancing such a fine line of like clarity and cleanliness with like fuzziness and blurriness, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, not everything is crystal clear here, but there's moments when, like when those vocals came in and they really took up most of the headphones. I don't know, just the mix and the sound of this is so impeccably done.
They isolate their heads and stay in their safety zone. And what can you say that would make them defensive? I know there's an answer. I know now, but I had to find it by myself. Now how can
Like,
I come
this mix is so unique. It sounds like the band is almost playing in a different room, and then just because the vocals are so upfront on this and so present, and the band is the pianos and the drums and the bass line, it's all kind of buried.
I know there's an answer. I know now, but I had to find it and tell them the way that they
such an interesting bass line too. Like, it doesn't go to the note you would expect it to. Oh, that's so good. That track was amazing. Holy. I gotta take it back and just hear that one little moment. That, yeah. The do's leading into this. Just a little brief moment that, oh, I love that. That track was so amazing. Holy crap. I am kind of forgetting what I was gonna say because it was just hitting me with so many different things. Overall, though, again, like I said, the mix on that just very unique. Like, I was expecting to enjoy this to some degree, but not this much for some reason. I was gonna point out how genius their melodies across this entire album have been too. Enough familiarity mixed with unpredictability in terms of the melodies. You think they're going to go to a certain note or do a certain idea, but then they just kind of steer away from that, but still do something that feels somewhat familiar and somewhat, it still makes sense, of course, obviously. So I'm loving the melodies across this entire thing too. There's a lot of horns too, a lot of deep horns. Like, oh my gosh. The way that melody just keeps rising and oh, gosh. This track has kind of a circus-esque feel to it. It's very playful. Oh, so many ideas in that track. So many twists and turns. I think that might be my favorite, to be honest. Just that kept me on my toes like the entire time, just doing so much. I also love how we've had like 3 main vocalists. I think we've had Mike Love, Brian Wilson, and the other Wilson. I don't remember what his name is, but all of them have been great. Like, there hasn't been a weak link. Usually, if you have, in most bands at least, if you have multiple people taking on the role of a vocalist, usually you'll have one that rises to the top that you enjoy a little bit more. I'm honestly enjoying all 3 equally. Vocally, this has just been amazing. Instrumentally, I mean, let's just keep going. I'm loving this.
I keep looking for a place to fit in where I can speak my
I also just kind of like how these tracks just like start. You know, there's no like, I mean, maybe some of the tracks have had some intros, but there's no like drawn out intro or anything. They just kind of get to the point. And I honestly just, I appreciate that, to be honest. Like, a lot of the albums that I listen to, while they are great, they do sometimes feel a little bit self-indulgent. In this album, it just cuts all that away and just says, here's the song, you know? It's starting now.
I think I got something good going for myself, but what goes wrong? I feel where my heart is. Sometimes I feel where my heart is.
You hear that guitar, or whatever that is, that...
Wants to help you look for places where new
Such a cool texture tone to that.
Each time things start to happen, sometimes I feel very sensitive. I guess I just wasn't made for these times.
Another one that's not one of my favorites. I feel like the lyrics are just a little bit cringy, to be honest. The whole idea of I was born in the wrong generation, you know? Maybe that wasn't like a thing that was kind of memed back in the day, obviously, but just in today's context, it feels a little bit cringe, like I said. But overall, cool track. Again, I'm loving the mixing. Just the way those drums were placed way in the back. Very interesting. See what I mean? How the guitar tone, it really bites through the mix and pierces through. Like, I feel like that tone could be neutered a little bit, but then it would lose the charm. Like, if this album was made today, that guitar tone wouldn't be as piercing as it is, you know? So much soul to this track, too. Who knew these white boys could have so much freaking soul? Okay, we're gonna keep it going into the last track. It was apparently supposed to be on a James Bond film. Okay. Never made it to the film. It does give me kind of a James Bondy feel. But alright, last track.
Where did your long hair go? That happy glow. Oh, Caroline, I remember how you used to say, break my heart, I wanna go and cry. It's so sad to watch a sweet thing. Could we ever bring them back once they have gone?
I'm so dumb. Oh my gosh. The whole time that last little soundbite there was playing, I was like, does this lead into the next album maybe? Is that why this is here? But no, it's Pet Sounds. It was Pet Sounds right at the end there. I don't know if that has any deeper meaning to this album, if there's some sort of metaphor there or symbolism for something, maybe. I don't know, but it took me forever to clue in that, oh, those are literal pet sounds. There you go, that's the album. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Absolutely loved this thing right here. Like I said, coming into this, I did expect to honestly enjoy it, but not this much. I think there's a lot of range and variety here within their own sound, and the mixing, like I said, is fantastic. The vocalists are all stellar. The melody, the crafting of the melodies, it's, like I said, unpredictable but familiar, genius. Writing, I didn't pay too much attention to, but it just seemed very passable for the time. A couple moments in the lyrics that I didn't love, but for the most part, this thing is freaking amazing. And like I said, I love how these songs just kind of get to the point. They don't really waste your time. A lot of them are 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 max. A lot of them don't waste your time with some long, drawn-out intro. And like I said, like, those types of songs are great. They have their place. It feels refreshing to just get an album here that just cuts all that away and just gets to the point, you know? So yeah, this was great. Those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I missed anything, as always, down below. Make sure to go join the Patreon again if you want to see this reaction uncut. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.